Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be checking out the second gameplay showcase of Hogwarts Legacy. The first one, absolutely no complaints about it. It looked amazing. It looks like the developers, they really care about this project and it really shows. You can see it on their faces. It's absolutely flawless as of now. So from the first one we saw the interiors of Hogwarts, and I'm guessing this one would be the outside. Hopefully we see the more open worldness of this game, because it is an open world game if I'm not wrong. So yeah, let's get into this reaction. I will be focusing on certain areas of the reaction. Maybe I'm pausing, so keep that in mind because the video is like 34 minutes and I don't want this video to go on too long, so I'm gonna be pausing and I'm gonna be talking about it. But I'll be mindful about it. I'll be mindful. So yeah, let's go. All right. Looks great, as always. This is all the footage we have seen before. We've seen the zoos and the zoo. Man, the Slytherin room looks so cool.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have Game Director Alan Tu.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And Systems Designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
Hello.
And finally, just off screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Coram. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via broom flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena,
Let's
and
go.
a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
All right.
And we're starting right where we left off in our last
There we
gameplay
go.
showcase, just outside Hogwarts, which I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world. And Alan, I know that's something that you particularly
The LOD looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. This looks good.
like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
I'm not seeing any pop-in.
I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you, and just I love the proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like the brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, we're not at the 3000 yet. We're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so...
Okay, there seems to be like minor collision, no collision at all. Maybe there are collisions with like the bigger branches of the tree, like the trunks, but I didn't see any pop in. The thing is, this game does look like it's gonna run well, and I'm really hoping so because the Witcher update just came out, and I am very excited to play it, but I can't play it on RT because ray tracing is way too taxing, and this kind of feels like it will run well.
By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade that broom to go faster?
Yeah, so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop. And so
Customizable
that
brooms?
sells a variety of different brooms. And it was important to us that the player could customize themselves
We can customize
based on their own
ooh,
aesthetic. So
good
they're
animation.
purely cosmetic, but
Fuck
if you
yeah,
talk
love
to the
cosmetics.
shopkeep, and help him out, he'll actually sell
In-game
upgrades.
cosmetics.
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying
Okay.
to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better. And you can
I see some performance drops around, but
participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
I see.
And I love that that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground. It's not just a travel mechanic, point A to point B. You're not just flying high over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh
over
my
the
god, like I'm just like I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to that forest and to that hamlet, or well I don't know if that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome.
I'm not so sure we can go to the mountains. It feels like a very enclosed space. You know, it doesn't feel like a sandbox. It feels like they have made an area where you can explore, but you can't really go beyond that. Kind of like in The Witcher, where if you travel too far, they always let you know that, devils lie here and you can't go past this area. So this is what it feels like, and that is fine. That is what you need. You can optimize, you can make sure everything is right when you have a specific close space that you are working with. And yeah, it looks good.
We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as. And so we all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all wizarding village within Britain, but we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those, and so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you also notice on the mini-map, like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in, whether it's a vendor.
Am I the only one who's getting like Rockstar vibes with Red Dead? It certainly looks great, and the minimap kind of reminds me of
Or
that.
different puzzles and challenges, or different secrets that exist. Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay. And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
That was a lot to take in, but yeah. Okay.
I mean, I ran away when I want to just cover all
Quest opportunities and, a little side missions.
those points.
Also, I must say the sound design. In the last gameplay showcase, there was a lot of people. I looked up a lot of reactions, and people also had the same reaction as I did. Was with voice acting, the mixing, the audio mixing with that was a little weird. But in general, the sound design, as I'm listening to the music and the ambient noises going around, it's really good. It feels very organic. This place feels very organic, and this is how it should be.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're gonna hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is
Let's
our
go.
pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the the bag. Oh wait, you can use it as a
Holy
horsey?
shit.
A horse. I mean,
That's awesome.
a horse.
Yeah,
That's great.
As a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift off into the air. And we tried to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible.
Wait, I might be incorrect. It does look like we can go
But
up.
sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing just to.
Or maybe it's just there's a limit to it because on the mountains on that distance, I
be
maybe
riding
not.
around on a hippogriff.
Look at it.
Yeah, it really is kind of like I don't know. It's a great feeling being
Yeah,
on it, and it's a great.
it certainly
feeling
looks
managing those
great.
transitions, kind of going from run to fly, and just being able to go wherever.
Hopefully
you
it
want. We try to
feels
make sure
great
that-
too, but it
that
does
those-
look like
that
it will feel
each one of
great.
these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
Hostile enemies.
And, oh my
There
god, I
you
see
go.
like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can
There
you
is some
go
poppin'.
to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions
But
that are
that's
like
fine.
blocked from you.
Yeah,
or,
as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And
That's
so
awesome.
you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned the swamp. But there, we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
I feel like Elden Ring really paved the way for a new way of open world exploration, and I'm pretty sure a lot of developers are going to take note and implement that because, the way the organic exploration happens in an open world is you let the player decide where to go, and you make the specific areas challenging, and depending on the challenge the player decides where they want to go. Maybe you put in some story cues, and through the story it leads you wherever you want to go, but the option to go wherever you want still exists, and that is a much more superior way to do open world exploration. And yeah,
So cool. And I love that windmill.
you can
It's,
go
like,
anywhere
so
you want.
Rustic.
Lovely.
Like, I keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic. Like it's part of it.
Yeah.
I love this vista too, and I'm gonna have
Look at
Andrew
that.
stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like, covered in snow.
Oh, there's an ocean.
Yes, yes, please. I love snow.
That's all I want.
Wrong wavy.
There you go.
This is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is so pretty. Okay, it looks so realistic. Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely.
Wow.
Oh my god. Does it have like actual like gameplay impact? Like impact on the gameplay? Or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through
Yeah,
the
I was
game.
wondering
so as you're
about
progressing
that,
through the
yeah.
main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like
Seasons
have those
change,
moments that kind
time.
of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies where you'll see
Yeah.
kind of like the title card
It's winter.
and now the landscape has changed, and you're
nice
really
and cozy.
feeling that passage of time while you're a student, going through your year at
Right.
Hogwarts. And I think we
Did
wanted
the
to
outfit
duplicate
change
that, and
too?
for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside.
Water looks good.
Which
That's a good test. If the water looks good.
to duplicate that, and for me it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which I agree. I think it looks really beautiful.
Yeah, it's
but
so pretty.
within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that where
I really
Hogsmeade,
hope that
reacts to
flying
holidays,
feels good.
and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change. That really
See?
helped just kind of make me feel like I'm
Really
there.
feels they really care about
And-
this
and
game.
it's not just for the seasons, those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe. When you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down just when there's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls. But in that day-night cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where you know, whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
And I love Andrew's flying up here, really high up on the hippogriff, and we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my, I still can't get over, like, no matter, I played this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, you know, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse.
This is a very big incentive for pre-ordering, because people would want that onyx hippogriff.
To my common room, that it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all this.
I mean, I'm just I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely
Yeah, it looks
beautiful.
great.
It's just-
Like, there are like pop-in issues, but I'm pretty sure this is coming to the older gen platforms, and if that's the case, you can't avoid it. If this was an exclusively PS5 title, PS5 and PC and next gen title, the texture streaming would have been much better because of the SSDs, but they have to accommodate. So if you see people complaining about the pop-in and stuff, it's just gonna happen. It is what it is. This is the limitation of releasing your game on older gen hardware. It's just, you can't really avoid it, and especially when you're moving fast through a big open world, it's bound to happen. It's completely acceptable.
Oh my god.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world,
Water
I
looks
think
great.
this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep
Let's go.
dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is
Let's
part of our
go.
deluxe edition. All right,
Deluxe
Andrew's got us
edition.
in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is, which is part of the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle
I do not like that. That is something I do not like. Level gating content, especially based on, like, you know, money. Hopefully this is not a big part of the game, but
Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, people have to make money, but if it's a significant part, don't do that. If it's not, it's fine, because there was that one quest that was exclusive to PlayStation, I believe, and I don't really care. It's just one quest and a potion. It's fine. If, you know, Sony is giving you money, then you know, make a quest for them. It's fine. But this kind of seems significant, so
Go to the Forbidden Forest.
I don't know what to think.
There are many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set.
Looks great.
And
Nightlight looks
here
great.
he's pulling out the Thestral, which is
Oh my god.
part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe
See-
and Digital Deluxe edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
I mean, it's good marketing, but everything they're showing is like, oh, what if I don't buy the deluxe edition? So am I missing out on, like, things?
That's good. That's what I like going down.
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way, because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around with combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah,
do-
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves, in order to earn a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the combat arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to kind of like add that to their repertoire, and they can also commit to that down with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things as kind of like a way to test them all. And so it's a chance to kind of like tour and play with the dark arts and decide whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the dark arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again,
So what if I don't pay for, the deluxe edition? Will I be able to? I'm pretty sure I'll be able to use the spells, but it does say the Dark Arts pack, so there might be some certain spells that are only tied to a paywall, and I don't like that. I just don't like that. Just make deluxe edition cosmetics. A different cosmetic mount would be okay. Like, they haven't answered. Does the base game have a mount? Do I get a hippogriff to roam around if I don't buy the deluxe edition?
great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling, and we can.
I mean, I don't really care about this
everything
kind
you're
of
seeing on the
stuff. Like,
screen.
arena stuff has never been like PvP arena stuff has never been something that I really care about. But it does, I don't know. Just feels a little.
Just start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, they just said the cadavers right away. Oh my god.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my god.
Strong.
Was that Kujio? Oh my god. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to kind of build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen that you just have questions about.
Well, like I see like little blue things popping from the enemies. Also, like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic community.
Oh, so it is ancient magic.
That is, yeah. So as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of mystery.
Again, the combat looks really solid.
You start unlocking new.
Like when the first trailer came out, I had a lot of, I thought the combat wouldn't be that good, but then the first showcase was released and the combat looks absolutely stellar. It feels weighty. There are mechanics to it, and you can customize your spells. It's good. It's good.
New powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast.
Not a big fan of the font there, the Wave 3. The font is very ugly.
A very devastating and
just
powerful ancient magic spell.
Nobody cares.
To do a ton of damage against the character. I see. And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat, you're Protegoing and you're doing different abilities and you can kind of spec into it with your talents, there are different ways to get that meter to build faster and faster. But one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack.
Oh, also enemy design is pretty cool. I forgot to mention. Their attacks are pretty cool.
And it's almost like
Look at that.
your emotions are
Pretty
building
cool.
up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone, and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the Room of Requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my god, he's just destroying. The troll just collapsed from one of the Kadabra.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do
Combat
is
looks
focus potion, and that will
super solid,
increase
I must
how
say.
quickly your cooldowns regain.
Right. Oh my god. There's
You
just so much
see,
versatility.
people, I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I feel like developers are really taking notice of how From Software does their combat, and that one-to-one interaction with the combat almost feels like a From Software, like a Souls game with magic.
See, like what the character is doing to the troll right now, like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not, and the troll makes him move around too. It's like,
And I love that our plants are
Instant
wild.
kill.
Yes, and so that's like when we were talking about the setup of the arena, you also have plants that you can fight with. And so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
that is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple
Spells
ways.
look
And so
really
you can
good
see
too.
There's a ton of different things. you can
Particle
use.
effects.
The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style.
Chinese chomping cabbage.
And so this is a way to, if you
Chomping
want to get stuck in your
cabbage.
style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But
R2,
we also
R2.
want to have some things over here that may
So
make
cool.
you use certain plants or certain potions or
And
block more or
so
we
much
mentioned
is
the
going
field
on
guide
right now.
challenges, in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them. and
It's a
explore what they wanna do,
mishmash
because
of
there
a
really are
lot
so
of
many
combat
ways that you can
styles from
push
different
talent.
games.
When you
I
see
must say,
the
not just
green
From
X's on
Software.
characters,
That's right.
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic.
That looks really
sort of
good.
like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get the
It feels very methodical, like you have to think about what you're doing, but I haven't seen repercussions. Like I don't see a health bar for myself, so I don't know how easy this game is. But so far, the character is not dying. If we are taking damage, I don't see any, visual indication that I'm taking too much damage, but maybe they will show that.
as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage. And so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy,
Wow,
they
that's
all
cool.
drop dead for that kind of ultimate
so cool.
Voldemort fantasy. And so,
So much thought
there
has
are
been
dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against the dark arts characters, things like that. That
put
misty
into this
step that
game.
you see, occasionally being used on the battlefield, and we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more
Fucking
powerful
cool,
and
man.
more efficacious. So it's
Wow,
all about which type of player you feel like you are, and whether or not you want to play with prep, on the fly, or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool because like it's like I see so much like going on the screen, just so much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style works best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but
You're
that
our
ancient
audience.
magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable
Aw.
curses away, and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space that actually has some utility as well, where you get to brew things and grow things and also care for some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us in the Room of Requirement.
Look at that. Those textures look pristine. Beautiful.
We kind of went casual mode on the outfit.
So much
here,
love
wearing
put
a nice
into
jumper.
in the environments. Absolutely
and I think
beautiful.
that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
That's
Different
my jam.
themes throughout, starkly different.
That's
themes,
my soul.
to really
Fuck.
just hammer home that this is yours. You
Oh
can
my
change-
God! What?
I love this.
Beautiful. We never.
I
expected
love
that to be
customization, like
so-
base
That's the
customization.
thing is not only
Love
can you
it.
change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So there's like statues that you can do, and ornaments,
Moonstone.
and tables, and rugs, and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my goodness! Because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like, there's a furniture store.
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
That's so cool. And
Dope.
you change color.
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Oh my God! It's so tiny.
It's basically
It's like a
Sims.
baby
I love it.
Niffler. And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive.
Awesome.
And so you get the
And yeah,
magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world
So
as
good.
your character. But the way you've blended like that gameplay with the immersive design of personalizing
Oh
the space.
my God! Like, and I love the animation, how it like
I
appears.
get-
you know,
I
like
get
it's
back
not just like
Moonstones.
there. It's like it almost like it apparates.
It is really quite beautiful, and that was the thing is we wanted that to look really nice because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere.
I was
gonna
gonna say it looks great. The
whimsical.
transitions,
We
the
really wanted
operations.
to nail that whimsy in the space.
I love that
Another thing that
animation.
I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your
Ooh,
potions.
the red looks nice.
So while
The
you're
blue
also
looks nice too.
doing these
Agree.
like kind of nurturing-based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified and gear to have
It's more of a
like,
sea green.
traits put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, we keep bringing up appearance and how it looks and yeah,
That light is so harsh.
we keep bringing
Coming out of the window, the
up
door.
appearance and how it looks and on a like in the game you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to. But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical
Enchanted
properties.
loom.
And as you explore, and
Often
as you
no
adventure,
upgrades
as
applied.
you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities. And that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing as a wizard.
Oh,
And so-
I see.
And not all the time whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the room of requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the space
Everything
will
has a
eventually grow
mechanic.
its own rooms,
This is
and
so
you're gonna get
deep.
new recipes, like Mackenzie's talking about.
Whoa.
All these different things keep expanding, and as it expands, eventually
Like my mind is trying to comprehend the combat system, and they're just giving me this, that. Okay, the loom, now the identification thing. You can change the layout of everything using moonstones. Moonstones, I guess they are collectibles that you would like find throughout the game, and
you're going to
so good.
earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does.
Mooncalf fur.
And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage, or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, mooncalf fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivario.
So we don't have to
bigger
kill
space
them?
on the inside idea. And so you can see here
right.
vivario.
So we just
Kind of bigger space on the inside
okay, cool.
idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf
that looks
and a niffler
great.
And a kneasel as well. So quite a variety.
Oh my
So
God,
cute.
he's just like a big puppy.
They're so cute.
cuddling. I know, oh my God, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they can they'll give you their magical ingredients. So
This
mooncalf
is
fur,
so
niffler
fucking
fur,
much.
etc. That can then be used in your gear.
That is like so like intuitive, because like you know that makes sense, because when you touch the animals you get some fur.
Yeah, I was
That's
wondering,
so
do I have
good.
to
That's
kill
so-
the animals?
Oh my
But
God.
no.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast
this
dens
fucker.
and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is crushing them
Cute.
and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
I'm really,
Right.
really happy
And
right
so
now.
we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness, no, this is like, I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area.
Hell yeah.
To personalize. This is like cool, it's like you have this little play area, like a personalized fish tank, so to say. Just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah,
Do the
no,
beasts
totally.
follow me?
And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you
They do.
progress in the game and
I
you're able
see
to
them
purchase
moving.
more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you, where you can play with your beasts. And you'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the needle, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Oh my god.
watching them. It's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home is that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the
Awesome,
Overland,
dude.
who want to
Awesome.
hunt these beasts for their material. So instead
There are some, like, you know, graphical issues here and there you can see pop in, but hey, it's always an issue when you're dealing with lower current gen and the previous gen hardware. But this is good. This is good. I have high hopes for this game. Of course, I'm not gonna go and pre-order just because you just don't. And my advice would be don't pre-order. Just wait for the reviews and then buy it. It's just, you know, we have been burned a lot, and pre-order is never a good option. But I do have high hopes, and I'm very positive when it comes to this game. Something tells me this game is gonna be an absolute banger. So yeah, that was my reaction. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.